After making several YouTube videos about my reading setups and the devices I use, the more I think about how I use them and the things that I've learned. In this video is more of a reflection after using two eink devices as my reading setup, and I hope that you can relate or maybe learn a thing or two as much as I did. Let's get right into it. I think this really resonates with me because sure, reading is a habit, but do you ever think that a short and long reading session could mean two different mindsets? Personally, I believe on the daytime when there is so much things to do, so much things going on from work, commuting, being around our friends and family, we manage to squeeze a little burst of reading in between the day, aka short reading sessions. When this is happening, I don't want to be carrying around any big books or big e-ink screens with me when I'm trying to get around from point A to point B. While long reading sessions, it's more focused in doing one task only. Less activities going on around you, and most of the time you're alone on a comfy bed or comfy chair with a really good book. I guess different people have different perspective about reading, and so far from using these two devices with me, this is the kind of mindset that I kind of learn eventually while I'm trying to make both devices work for myself. As much as I try my best that one device is enough and I must choose one only, it is really hard to choose because one device could be good in one specific situation while the other could be really best at one situation as well. There are many nuances to this, and the budget is often one of the issues. I think in this case, it's best to work out what is the best situation for you and what is the best device to take, because having two devices as your reading setup is not really for everyone. But as for me, I happen to get fascinated about different gadgets, and that's how I ended up with more than one device. So my goal is to utilize the items that I currently have and see what works well for my situation. I think I've learned this with my Boox Palma too. I thought all the cool features like the access to the internet or downloading apps from the Play Store would make me use these features even more. As it turns out, 90% of the time, I'm just reading books with it and nothing more. I did try to use Notion as to-do list, but yeah, the experience wasn't that convenient, and having that slow refresh rate still kind of bugs me when I'm trying to use this as like a mobile phone. For this kind of device, having that one feature of just reading, having the convenience of having a pocketable ink e-reader outweighs all the fantastic features of the gadget, which kind of make me realize why this is a bit more convenient in using compared to having this with all the mobile features. Yeah, I still kind of prefer this because it's just a very standalone device and it's very simple, very pocketable. So yeah. Okay, so this can be a little bit ironic with the amount of videos that I created for the Xteink X4. You can check them out in my channel just right after this video, but I try my best to be honest with the experiences that I share with you guys, and the device that I use more, aka the Xteink X4, is not what I enjoy the most, which is basically the Boox Palma 2. I know I've talked about all the hype and how awesome the X4 is, but it's just different with the Palma 2. Despite the feeling of carrying literally a second phone in your pocket or in your bag, if I didn't crack my screen, as you can see from here, would I even consider the Xteink X4? The Palma 2 is just easier to hold in my case because it has a bigger grip. There's more space to hold it compared to the X4. Yes, it is tiny and my hand is really tiny, but it can get uncomfortable the longer that you carry this around, and yeah, it's just my honest experience with this compared to holding this, which is a lot of us are so used to holding our phones 24/7 literally. It also has a bigger screen to read your books. It is just the best case scenario for me. So going back to the question, would I even consider the Xteink X4? Okay, here's the thing about myself. I'm a very curious person, so maybe I would consider buying it because of the cheaper price and, well, all the hype about it. I'm very curious how is the experience using it. That is considering if I never broke the screen. But for now, this is the best case scenario for me. Because of my cracked screen, I want to have a proper readable screen. That is why I purchased my Xteink X4 to replace my Boox Palma 2. The X4 is really more towards the practicality of being a cheaper alternative and pocketable device. It still has a lot more things to work on, like the syncing and the screen issues. It is a very simplified eink device. If you're into that, then I think this is gonna be a good one for you. But if you want more features like the syncing, better screen, or better OS, then I think you might try to move to another type of well-established devices like Boox or Kobo or Kindle. Now this is one of the things that makes me feel a little bit embarrassed to share with the people in my life. They know I love gadgets, but they don't know how many of the same thing I have. There's always this talks about overspending on gadgets that do the same thing. Or why do I even need to get another phone when I still have working phones? Same situation with the eink devices. They all work the same. Why do I need to buy another one? The right tools depend on the different kind of situation, like how I use my Xteink X4 for the daytime and my on-the-go e-reader as of currently, and with the Kobo Libra color is the perfect nighttime reading, which is kind of the obvious that I've mentioned in my many other videos. You can check those out later on. And my Boox 10.3 Go is my note-taking tablet of any brainstorming. So that is really perfect. Now this one is my perfect plan B on-the-go ink reader if I don't want to carry around this one, or if I want to read outside and I need a front light. This is my next thing that I carry around. Despite having this cracked screen, it is still very usable because I managed to think of ways how to use it despite of having the cracked screen. So this is how I read now. It is still very much usable, but I don't know, in the future I might get one more, which is like the Pro, but we shall see if it's within the budget. I'm also very curious about the color technology and having it as a phone. I believe they also have a SIM card, so let's see if I'm gonna upgrade on this one, and let's see how eventually our reading setup would upgrade from their point on. It is very simple as that. The moment I let go of that one perfect device and how other people think of me, the more I truly enjoy all of the gadgets that I work hard for. It's not an easy thing to do, but we keep on trying to be positive and enjoy the fruits of our own labor. So my question for today is, what have you learned with your own reading setups? Do you still use a solo e-ink reader, or do you have multiple devices for different types of situations, as much as I did? And what have you learned from that? And any tricks or any advice at all? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you want to read more about this video, I have the article version in my Substack, link in the description below. So let me know what you guys think. Until then, I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye!